trouble in paradise? Question
Oh
mark.
God. I mean,
Michigan, reigning national champions.
raining.
They won
Yes, sir.
30-10. No problem.
Great game.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Until you dive in a little bit. When
Yeah.
you
Do a full
peel
dive.
back the layers
That was a
of the
disaster.
Michigan Fresno State game, they were only up 16-10 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Michigan threw for 121 yards combined between their two quarterbacks.
McCarthy reincarnated.
Donovan Edwards, the cover of NCAA 25, had 11 carries, so second most on his team. The other running back had 15, for 27 yards against Fresno State.
that
They
D-line.
looked bad, like very, very bad. And their defense, the pick six at the end kind of made the score look less, close.
Shout out Will
This
Johnson.
was a close game.
Yeah.
And Fresno State had chances to go in this game. So, as an Ohio State fan, I'm sure you were ecstatic. But as the guy who bet Michigan for your mortal lock,
Yeah,
maybe
wasn't
not
so
so
static.
much.
No, I mean, I wasn't worried about Michigan. Like, I'm not very worried about Michigan. I still think they're good, and their defense is one of the best in the countries. But this was like, it was rough. It was definitely rough. I still think the coach completely is fucking up right now and playing a senior instead of your 5-star coming in, Alex Orji.
It's a great name. by the way.
Everyone loves the name
a
Alex
wild
Orji.
name.
But to not play him when, they were supposed to be half and half, and for something happened that obviously we don't know. But Alex Orji should be playing in this game, and it's not even a sweat. When he was in the game, they were getting first downs, moving the ball. Like, he was only touchdown they had on offense was because of him. So, I just think that, I don't know. It was kind of weird. They have a tough game next week against Texas.
Yeah.
It is at home.
Big underdogs.
Big underdogs, 7-point underdogs. So, we'll talk about that. But, their defense is really going to have to do what they do. Don't get me wrong. It's what it's been. That's been their identity. But not this bad.
Yeah.
With no running game. Offensive line looks shaky. I don't know. It was very worrisome.
I was, first of all, defensively, you expect Michigan to just be, as reigning national champions, to just be able to shut almost anyone out, especially
Fresno State.
Yeah, Fresno
bad
State.
Fresno State.
That's
10
insane.
points was rough.
But then, I don't know if you guys saw this, end of the first half, they were being outgained. What was it? It was 97 to 89 yards, which is crazy. And then they were up by only a touchdown. Not only that, this was such an undisciplined showing from Michigan. It was ridiculous. I have a couple examples here. So the second half, they were driving down. They were doing pretty well. They were getting a little bit of momentum. And then all of it died off a holding penalty. They had to settle for a 53-yard field goal, which we know college football, obviously not the easiest thing in the world. And then game goes on. They keep it close. Like you said, it was 10-16. They had just scored to make it 23-10. And then Fresno State was driving. They get roughing the passer, which voided an
was
interception. Then they got an unsportsmanlike conduct
Voided another
and a
interception.
face mask penalty.
Yep.
And then, of course, Will Johnson comes and saves the day. But that is an unbelievable string of mistakes to have on somebody's pushing drive to kind of close the game out. And then, like I said, you open the second half with a holding penalty that kills your offensive momentum. These are, in my mind, a little bit of alarm bells that should be ringing.
Yeah, this isn't Michigan, by the way. This is a team of fucking Big Ten scrubs wearing Michigan uniforms. They have no coaching.
okay.
Their coach is gone. He's at he's at the Chargers now. Bye bye tradition. Bye bye morals. Although they didn't really have any. They have that cheating scandal to begin with, anyways.
are cheaters.
Quarterback gone in the NFL. Actual RB1 Corum gone in the NFL. Donovan Edwards RB2 on their team. Average 2 yards a carry. So nothing to write home about there. This defense not good. It's not good. They have good players on this defense. The good ones, for the most part, left. Fresno State, like you said, was outgaining Michigan the majority of the game. Fresno State, that pick six was a 90-something yard pick six. You know why? Because Fresno State drove down on them every single time, and they turn it over. It's Fresno State. They're not going to execute.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Will Johnson's fantastic.
86,
Love it.
yeah.
He's best corner in college football. They have good individual players on this team. Like Donovan Edwards, I think, is unbelievely talented. This offensive line did not look good.
Yeah,
That's
that was-
another,
It
that's
did not.
another alarm
Michigan's
bell.
known
Yep.
for grinding it, running it, offensive line, big guys up front, running the ball. J.J. McCarthy, throwing 0 passes last year against Penn State in the second half. They're not going to be able to do that this year with this offensive line. Fresno State's defense was holding them rushing. What do you think is going to happen when they play Texas? When they play Ohio State?
gonna be good.
It's a murder up front. Their quarterbacks, who can't throw to begin with against Fresno State, will have negative time against this Texas D line. We're going to talk about the game next week. But no, this is every alarm bell in the entire world rang for me when I saw this game. This reminded me of when I watched Florida State week 0. I was like, oh, no, they're done. Like, this is like.
But you think they're done?
I mean, Fresno.
No,
I mean,
it's
I,
done.
I
Fresno
wouldn't,
State is
I
a good
wouldn't
team.
say
Yeah,
that.
like
I
when
wouldn't
you were
say
talking
that.
about South Dakota State.
What do you mean by good?
previous-
What do you mean by good?
They're
top 60?
I would think they're top.
No,
60.
that's what I mean. Like top half team, but they're not.
But they always have talk
no,
about players.
they can hang
They
and-
always send out like players that just turn out to be.
They can hang and compete with good teams. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been a
Individually,
blowout.
They maybe send a player to the pros every year. Out
Like
of the
one or-
7,
one or two every like.
Sure, I mean, okay,
But they turn out like.
They're
But
not.
that's
A,
a-
they're
that's a
not a
pro.
Power 5 school.
No, you know.
So yeah,
but they
you
can
know,
hang with a lot of.
and we're
a lot
talking
of
about
teams.
Michigan.
No, I'm not. We're not.
One of the
disagreeing.
first things the commentator said was how good the D line is for Fresno State, and I mean they
It's a-
looked pretty good.
No.
I mean,
I think they
showing
look-
against Michigan, like
I think they look good because Michigan's O line was not good.
I also think I would be freaking out if I was a Michigan fan, a lot more if I didn't have Alex Orji. When he did
100%.
come in on offense, like he actually did provide some sort of bright spot. It just comes down to how often is he going to play. I think as the season progresses, like they're just going to realize Warren is terrible.
He's just
Like, he's
senior,
actually
shouldn't be
horrible.
on the team.
Like I know that's Mike's guy.
No,
like,
I just like his story.
yeah,
but-
okay, whatever.
yeah.
We're talking about football. We need to win
strictly
games.
football.
Yeah.
Fair
You need to
enough,
win
fair
games. Alex Orji could easily come in and like, make this team look a lot better. Like week to week, we know how much college football changes, and especially like individual players, specifically quarterbacks, can like carry a team in college football like an
For
entire
sure.
season. So like,
100%.
I'm not saying he's gonna win them the Natty or anything. I don't think this team's good enough to win a national championship. But I'm just saying like, in terms of compete against good teams, like it's 1 week. The
still
coach
agree.
gave the senior his time because he knew they were never gonna lose this game. It's like, okay, let's just like ride it out and see what happens.
agree,
But I
agree.
think against better teams, you're going to see what he said initially, which was like 50-50. They're going to see who's better, which obviously, like, from the game, we saw Alex Orji look
Orji's
better.
just better every
Well,
single way.
And so, I mean, we'll see. I think it's just a wait and see.
agree.
Just something to note really quick. 5 days before the season opener on Saturday, the head coach made a press conference that said Darren Warren had secured the spot. He said that the last 3 months of their offseason, they were doing a quarterback battle or a position battle, and he said overall, in the end, Warren won it.
No, Warren
he
said
said
they were
Warren's
going to do
gonna start.
half and half.
Yeah.
Warren was going to start 100%. He gets the, like when people get the first drives.
I mean, all the commentators literally said, they're like, oh, yeah, they said that Warren would get the first half and
and
Orji
Orji
would come in the second.
half.
I do kind of want to push back a little on the Orji talk. Like
No, I'm not saying he's
No,
great.
He has
no, I'm not
3
sa-
throws in his
Dude.
college career.
he was 1 for 2 for 3 passing yards last game.
Again,
So like when we're saying he came in and like clearly was that much better and actually like
Well, because he
No,
could
but
just
look at his-
move.
Look at his rushes.
No, no,
Yeah, he had
yeah.
like 30-some yards
5
on.
for 30.
I mean,
Yeah, he had. That's
getting 6
really
yards
good.
of carry as a quarterback changes the whole
With
dynamic
Donovan
of the
Edwards,
defense.
your best
No.
running back was getting 2. So like,
No,
it
sure.
just,
He's rushed 5 times for 30 yards and threw 1 for 2 for 3. So like he was better than Warren.
by a mile.
Yeah, but that's not good. Like it's not like he didn't do anything.
I didn't say he was amazing.
But
I
it's
said
okay.
he was a bright
I just
spot.
wanted to push back a little
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
like, dude, he's thrown
No,
from
I'm saying,
3
like,
yards.
It's also hard
mean-
when you come on the field every 20 plays.
Oh,
and
I don't
have to
think it was-
expect to
And that's what I'm
spark
saying.
on
I mean,
offense.
that's 2 pass attempts and 6 rush attempts or 5 rush attempts. I mean, that's 7 plays.
Yeah, no, it's not. They didn't
Like,
give
I
him a lot of
mean,
work.
it's not a lot of.
Well, I think next week. I mean, we'll just
Yeah.
know everything. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's like most schools, but like,
Yeah, very true.
mean,
That'll
we'll-
be a
that'll
fun,
be a crazy
fun
game.
game to watch.
I mean, I think
Michigan,
excited.
Texas. We're gonna be talking about that on.
Mike, are you even
the college
worried? Real
episode.
quick, are you even worried in the slightest? Or is
Yes.
it, okay, good. Just making sure.
Oh, all right, well,
100%.
It is a
That'll
home
be
game.
fun.
I'm excited to talk
No, I'm
about
just
that.
making
Yeah,
sure. I'm just
100%.
making sure. No delusion.
That'll be a fun game.